How's it going, guys? I'm Brandon, and I'm here to improve the streaming experience not only for you, but also for your viewers, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to be talking about how to improve your console streaming experience starting from $0 invested, using the console and everything that you already have at your disposal, all the way to upgrading to the end goal of having a streaming rig that will send your console stream with all of the overlays, lighting, microphone, everything you're going to need to have a professional setup. Let's get into it. So this video is going to be broken out into 4 different sections, and check the timestamps or drag your slider across the bottom as you see fit to see where you want to start your investment. But we're going to start with the free investment, the cheap investment, the medium investment, and somewhat of a large investment. Now, everything that we actually do in this video can be carried on into the next section, so make sure you go ahead and consider this an upgrade path on how to improve your setup. Starting with the free section, we're going to be talking about if you're streaming directly to Twitch, which you can from PlayStation as well as Xbox. Extensions that already exist that are free that you can use on your channel right now to be able to get some overlays for people who are watching on their PC. These don't work on mobile viewing yet, but this is still an option to get people watching and seeing some of your overlays and alerts. To find these extensions, make sure you go into your Twitch dashboard and then go down to extensions. From here, you will have discovery, and then just above that, you'll have a search bar where you're going to type in overlay expert. Once you're there, you're going to see it's the very first one that's popped up, and go ahead and click on it, and then go ahead and hit configure, which is actually behind my webcam right now. Go ahead and hit install, etc., and then configure it the way you want. If you want a really detailed tutorial on how to do this, check the card that I'll put up here. I've covered this one before. It's a great video. It'll walk you step by step. The second thing that you can do for free is to get a chat bot. Now, the one that I recommend that's really easy to set up is the Streamlabs chatbot. Yes, there are so many ones that you can use, and many of you probably can recommend some. If you think there's a better one, jump down in the comments and let us know. But the one I recommend for right now is Streamlabs, the chatbot called CloudBot. So make sure you go ahead and create an account with Streamlabs and click on CloudBot. Make sure you toggle it to on so that the CloudBot actually joins your channel. And then what you'll want to do is click on modules. You want to turn on chat alerts. And so if you don't have any kind of alerts popping up on the screen, this will at least post thank you for the follow within your chat for people who do follow your channel, or if they donate and you set that up, this is how they can have that in the chat box saying thank you when you might have missed it while you're gaming. Another cool thing about chatbots is that you can put timers on them so they can promote your socials, TikTok, your YouTube, your Discord. By the way, make sure you join the Darkness Discord. The link for that's in the description. It's a great place. Come chat with me. Ask me questions on how we can further improve your setup. But anyway, timers are a great way to not only continue to remind your audience about things that might be important, charity streams, etc. This is a great way to continue to connect with your audience while you're still gaming. Another free thing you can use if you have your cell phone is actually the Twitch app, where you can go in and actually take a look at who's been following recently, follow all of your metrics, as well as to be able to keep up on your chat in real time. If you don't have a phone or something you can actually watch your chat on, that's not considered free. But if you do have something that you can watch your chat on the side, I would definitely recommend it because your audience is what you're there for, not the game. So the next section of this video is talking about a cheap investment or a little bit of investment to improve your streaming experience. And you can add this to anything that we've previously talked about. But this next section is to actually use a service called Lightstream. If you want me to go ahead and see a detailed tutorial, again, I have done a video on this. I'll put it in the corner, but let's talk a little bit about it and let me show you some stuff. So Lightstream has been around since the Mixer days, but seeing as Mixer has gone, they had to rebrand, and one of the things that they did was to use this brand to be able to allow console streamers streaming directly from your console to stream to this interface that you see here behind me. You'll stream to this interface, and then you'll be able to edit all of your overlays that could be coming from Stream Elements, from Streamlabs, things that you've purchased, and maybe overlays you've invested in or custom made, you can put onto your stream here and get a much more professional appearance on your stream using these overlays and alerts. So as you can see, the price for Lightstream, it is not a free service, but we can go ahead and see that they tier everything based upon resolution. For example, 720p 30 is the cheapest plan for gamer, which is what I recommend. You don't need creator. gamer is more than enough. But 720p 30 frames per second is $8 a month, but they do give you, I believe it's a week trial, so you can go ahead and sign up for the service and they don't charge you until after that week to see if you like it. And I would encourage you to do that, and if you find no value in it, then just cancel your plan. From here, you can go up to a max of $16 a month for 1080p 30 frames per second. But let me go ahead and encourage you, there's no reason that you should aim for 1080p streaming. Most people who are going to watch you are going to watch from mobile, and 720p is more than enough bitrate as well as the quality for them to get a clean experience from watching you. Most beginning streamers, I will always recommend start 720p 30 so that more people can watch you and that they're not kind of gated from a high bitrate stream that doesn't have transcoding. That's a whole nother conversation. And if you want more information about transcoding, let me know in the comments and I'll do a dedicated video on that. So section 3 of this video, or the medium investment, is talking about things that are going to drastically improve the quality of your stream, but the investment isn't large in dollar signs. So these are things like lighting, a microphone, maybe a capture card, maybe even a cheaper laptop or something that you can use to encode your stream that's not meant for gaming, but just meant for streaming. So let me go ahead and give you some recommendations. And before we get into that, let me go ahead and tell you all of these things that I'm recommending to you are things that I have actively used in the past, not only for my setup or people that I have personally set up for them and can test and vouch for. So first up in the medium investment section, let's talk about a PC that I would recommend for you to get a little bit of a start with streaming. And this is something that can be repurposed somewhere else, but you're looking at a mini PC and you might be questioning, Brandon, why in the world would I buy a mini PC and it's not going to do anything? Let me just show you. I just did a video not too long ago where I used this mini PC stick that actually has the same processor in here with worse cooling. And I did my entire stream, not only 2 capture cards with a cam link and the Mirabox capture card that we're going to talk about today, but it also housed a bunch of other things, USB 3 devices, as well as USB 2 devices through a connector so that I could stream my entire stream off of my Xbox using this and using overlays. It was absolutely fantastic. So I definitely recommend you go check out that video to see the quality that I saw. But one of the things I'll recommend is if you're going to pick one of these up, there's so many different versions. Just make sure you get 8GB RAM and you get the J4125 setup for the Celeron. I'll drop a few in the description. These are great. They run about $200 for this small box, something that you could easily hide behind your TV. So now that you've got a PC, let's talk about a capture card. Most people think of Elgato, which is the HD60S that I'm showing over here. Most people think of Elgato when it comes to capture cards, but this is a $140 capture card, whereas this Mirabox, which is the one you're looking at on the screen right now, is $40 and it performs almost identical, minus a couple of things, but those things you're missing are not a huge thing of loss. So I would highly recommend this capture card. It's all aluminum. I also have a review on that. I think I've reviewed everything we've talked about today, so I'll just drop all those links down there and cards up here, but I've reviewed this card. I really highly recommend it. Make sure you go check this one out, and they do coupons pretty often on this. This one will pass through 4K, so if you're playing on a 4K TV, you'll also be able to continue to play 4K on the TV, but capture 1080p 60 frames per second. If you plug it into a USB 3 port, stop plugging things into USB 2 ports that need USB 3, Chad. Ugh. All right, next up on this list is the Fifine K683A microphone. Fifine actually sent these microphones out not too long ago and asked me to review them. And this microphone you're seeing is actually the microphone that I'm doing this entire video on right now. And you can hear that it has a lot of quality. It's been EQ'd, just know that. But as long as you learn to mess with things a little bit, it sounds great. And out of the box, it still sounds awesome. Not only does it have USB-C connectivity, but it also has USB-A, a mute button on the top, as well as a gain knob. And on the back, you can actually plug your headphones in to not only hear your voice, but directly monitor the sound from your computer as well. It's very versatile, and for $53, you really can't go wrong. Now, if you're a person who doesn't want to use a microphone, a dedicated microphone, you just want to stick with a headset, the HyperCloud 2s, I have had this headset for 2 years, and it is, I have a big head, by the way. I'm not small, I got a big head. but this is probably the most comfortable headset I have ever owned. Between Turtle Beaches and Razors, this HyperX has been amazing, and it has lasted for 2 years. And my son, who is about to turn 3, I've had this headset since he was a kid. He's dropped it, thrown it around, pulled on it. Maybe I should take better care of it, but it survived the toddler, okay? Definitely recommend these. The microphone actually sounds great, and it's the microphone I used for several of my videos before I actually got a dedicated mic. All right, let's talk about video. If you're looking to upgrade your webcam or to even get a webcam, this one in particular, I actually still have it in my drawer right here. This is what carried me from the beginning of my channel all the way till now. This was $55 when I picked it up about almost a year and a half ago. And not only does it have a 90-degree field of view, which is what people want, that nice wide field of view, but it has adjustable gain as well as autofocus that you can turn on and off. There's so many things you can do with this. And right now it's less than $30. It blows my mind how cheap it is right now. So make sure if you want to pick up a webcam for cheap, this is obviously cheaper than any Logitech webcam you're going to get. And the quality is fantastic. I have done a review, as always, that's what I keep saying, but check the card, check the description for that. For lighting, I recommend this 10-inch ring light. Not only do I recommend ring lights because they provide a great amount of light that's diffused and spread, but this one's on a tripod that can collapse, that you can hide really well, especially if you have a kind of a tear down setup, kind of computer setup. This is a great one to use. Another benefit is it has a shoe on here, which is where you mount things on cameras and stuff. It has an adapter so that you can mount that webcam that I just showed within the ring light to get a really nice appearance on your face. So I recommend this one just because it pairs well with that webcam. And even without it, this is just a good ring light altogether. It's $35 right now on sale, $15 off, and an extra $2 off right now. So check the description for this one. I haven't reviewed this ring light, but I've reviewed ring lights like this before, and I can say you're going to get a lot of light out of this, and it's going to look great while it does it. If my math is right, everything in this last section adds up to around $400, and that is not a small investment. But if you consider that you take away that PC and go ahead and invest in a laptop or a streaming PC to go ahead and make that full investment, which is what this next section is about, you can see that as a different cost. However, I've seen plenty of people continuing to stream on these mini PCs after I recommended it, and their streams look awesome. But let's talk about this next section. If you've made it this far into the video, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up so that people can be able to see this tutorial so that they can improve their streaming setup as well. So this third section, which is the large investment section, this is where I would tell you to start considering a streaming rig, something that's got a dedicated graphics card that you can use the stream encoder to be able to stream. It doesn't have to be a powerful graphics card like you're going to game on that machine, but it needs to have that dedicated encoder or at least a high count processor so that you can be able to stream using X264. Today, I'm actually not recommending you a tower PC because graphics cards are stupid expensive, so hard to find, and by the time you do purchase a fully built system, you've overinvested, and you'll see that price and that cost of return just dwindle as we start to push into next year. So today, we're actually recommending a laptop. And I think this kind of fits what we're talking about today. Most people are going to be leaving their streaming rig in their living room, or maybe it's in a small space that might need to be set up and tear down very often. And a laptop allows you to do that. I actually started streaming on a laptop and making content off of it because I needed that portability. So let's talk about the one I want to recommend to you. The laptop I'm recommending you is the Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming, which is a 15-inch display, 120 hertz, that has a Ryzen 5 5600H with 6 cores, 12 threads, and a GTX 1650. Some of you, people who are console players, probably just said, that's a whole bunch of numbers that means nothing to me. I'll just say it this way. This computer has enough threads and cores on it that they're going to be able to run all the overlays, media, as well as music that you want on your computer. And the dedicated graphics card that's on here, the 1650, has a encoder chip that's going to act as your streaming chip so that it will take all of the load off the CPU so that you can be able to send a really nice stream to whatever platform you choose. and still have overhead for all of the cool stuff you want to do. On top of the specs, the actual chassis has plenty of USB ports, an HDMI out for a second monitor, and an Ethernet connection so that you can get solid, reliable connections for your streams. If you want to see a dedicated review of this laptop and to see what it's all about as far as gaming and some other things, check this link right here. It's to a channel called ETA Prime. He's a fantastic channel. He just reviewed this and talked about the performance from gaming as well as for emulation, and it'll give you an idea of just how powerful this PC is for that price tag of $699. If you're dead set on getting a tower PC, this CyberPower PC actually comes in with an i5-10400, which is the same amount of cores and threads as that laptop, but it comes with a 1660 Super, which is a much more powerful GPU, but it also still has a streaming encoder. This could be used for gaming and streaming if you switch to PC, but this conversation is about how to do it for a console. And even with that laptop, you could do some very light gaming, even some good 1080p gaming. So make sure you make the choice here. But with this, you're also going to have to purchase a monitor, and you're going to have to get some other things that you normally wouldn't have to buy with just a laptop. So now I've talked about all the things that I recommend for you picking up. Not only lighting, video, audio, as well as a computer, capture card, all the stuff. But I also want to give you one more recommendation. Most people by now would probably have already clicked off the video because they're looking for the thing that's going to help them improve their stream that is a purchasable item. But let me talk about the one thing that is free that you need to be able to use to upgrade your stream. You see, if you've made it this far, there's two things you're thinking about: the future and how you're going to build your brand. And then this other thing is to think about, how do I do this with the most minimal or the smartest investment that I can do? And the best thing I can tell you is this: if you're not willing to improve yourself and to take the time to understand that it doesn't matter how great your stream looks or how wonderful your setup is or how great the camera or the microphone, or it doesn't matter. If you're not willing to improve and to start focusing on how you can be a better communicator, entertainer, streamer, whatever the case, then all of these purchases are not going to be able to show any growth. So what do I recommend? First, just start streaming. Don't wait to make these purchases to start streaming. Get into it and start streaming. Go ahead and start making all of the mistakes you need to make. Figure out how to actually continue to talk to your audience. Continue to have ideas for your audience. Go ahead and plan out what your stream is going to be like. Maybe think about making dedicated content to push people to your channel. But what you need to focus on is when you are streaming and those people join your channel, focus on your community. Those are the people, your first few viewers that are going to be dedicated to you. Those are going to be your super fans, and they're always going to be there for you. So make sure you build them up and go ahead and show them love. And my last little bit of advice is to understand that all things happen in time. So many people are ready to hit that next milestone, that Twitch affiliate, that YouTube partnership, that TikTok creator fund, that Facebook gaming, whatever they call it. But they're ready to see what that is. And what I have to recommend to you is take it step by step. If you're focusing on growth and you're talking about how to improve your stream each time, every time you start to improve, those numbers and those metrics will eventually come. You can't force people to watch your stream, but you can improve yourself, and that's what you need to focus on. And that'll bring us to the end of the video. If you want to see why I actually ended my Twitch affiliate contract, check this link out right over here. And if you want to see more tech reviews of things that I've covered that you might want to upgrade for your stream, check out this playlist right here. I'm Brandon. Welcome to the darkness. We'll see you in the next one.